well this Saturday evening, 4th of October. So I hope we're all doing extremely well tonight. Yeah, let me know where you are. I know Scott, one of our subscribers and one of our mods, is going away early, so I'm doing this show sort of partly early as well for the benefit of Scott, as you know, Scott is a big massive part of this community as well. So doing an early show for many reasons, but you know, I'm doing a nice early one as well, Scott, today. So purpose really of today is a reaction. Dina Hughes, afternoon, JB. Good afternoon. I won't make this show too long today, because you know, get on with the rest of our evenings. We can talk about this game today. So let's talk about it. You know, if you are new to the channel, as you know, I'm not a dictator of this channel. I give you my opinions, you give me your opinions. I will always try to read out your opinions. Really, really important to me. There are super chats, memberships, and all that stuff on the channel as well. But I will very much try to read out your chats as much as I can. So tonight, interestingly, I want to hear from those who are Amorim out. Tonight, I'll give you my opinion on where I am, which hasn't really changed much, to be honest. And again, I'll give you my opinion on that. I watched the highlights and Lamens had a good game. Look, what I put on the start of the thumbnail, Liverpool down. I didn't see the score. What was the score in that match? I actually didn't see the score because I've been doing some other bits and pieces. So let me know the score. Liverpool Chelsea just scored. I've not watched the game, so interesting. So keep us abreast of the score. Let us know what is going on in regards to that. So the reason why I put Lamens and Sesko on the thumbnail, I think they both had a really good game. I think Sesko is starting to look like a proper striker. I liked his performance today. I also liked Lamens today. Didn't do anything amazing. I mean, the save at the end was good. It wasn't the fact that he was pulling out saves out of his arse today, but he was just assured. You know, every cross that came into the box, he was really strong, absolutely brilliant. Not Brett Mays' Liverpool. I know. I don't know what's going on with Liverpool, and that's the pressure of when you spend all that money on players. It's difficult. This league is very competitive this year, and maybe Arsenal can do it this year. So of all the teams that I think possibly could win the league, I hope Arsenal can finally win the league after 20 odd years, right? What have we got? There's this strange game today. We've got 3 points, not a great performance. Sunderland made it easy for us. Positive Lamens, Delict, and Sesko. Yep. So I have seen a couple of things today, and where I agree with it today is, look, a win is a win. All right. Somebody says, "Oh my God, I miss you, Mary." I do have that impact on people. I'm kidding, of course. 3 points. 3 points is 3 points. I think those people who hope Amorim lost today to lose his job. Look, I think we're going to have a very much an up and down season. I think we're going to pretty much lose, win. I think that is how we're going to be. And today, I think, was typified by that performance today. We can go through the game, we can talk about that. So I think the game today, I think, was that I think we started off well. I don't think we had the most quickest of starts that we have. I just miss this gentleman. Sorry, Mary. Look, someone has to miss me. Chip Play says hi JB. Hello Chilip. Hope you're doing extremely well. So we've got to be happy. We do have to be happy. 3 points is 3 points. Let's talk about the game. So I thought we started off well. Lamens and Euro start, we win and keep a clean sheet. Surprise. Exactly. exactly that. The men's tulip, we called it. The fans know his team better than Amorim. Look, we called it. We were talking about Le Mans for the longest time, and today Le Mans looks good, and people won't get it. People won't understand it. We've had atrocious keepers, and you can just tell Le Mans is an absolute upgrade on this team. He really, really is. So I thought that I'm going to say this. What I did say yesterday was if Amorim fielded the same team, I know it's one game, and again, you won't understand. You won't understand because you've got other teams have got good keepers in goal, but you can just tell. You can just tell when a goalkeeper is good. We can absolutely tell, and he's very, very good. He is great. So I did say if I see the same team, it's going to push me towards that sort of making a change, and maybe Amorim is too stubborn. And I'm trying to word this carefully because I'm not Amorim out. I am. What I am is Anana started good, yeah, but Anana shit. Look, you're right. You're right. Maybe look, if you're starved of food, right, and you haven't eaten in a long time, right, then basically anything's gonna taste good, right? If you haven't eaten for a long time, if you get like a gangster's pasty, that's going to taste like the best thing in the entire world, right? We've been starved for so long that any keeper that looks decent enough is going to be good. So you've got a point. You know, maybe he's not going to be the best keeper in the world, but at least he's started off well compared to what we had, and he looks like a confident player. So I'm going to choose my words very, very carefully here because I said when this team come out, if I see the same Luke Shaw, Delo, Casemiro in this team, then I'm going to be pushed more towards it. Amorim is stubborn. Now I'm going to try to refrain using Amorim in and out because it's so much more than that for me. So where I would be making a change for the coach is if he's so stubborn to the point where he won't change a single thing, then the coach has to change. As I say, these players need to be changed because they play for themselves. So I've got to be equal. I can't say I want to change players if they're playing for themselves and don't give a shit about the fans. And I have to be consistent with that and say, well, if the coach is too in love with his own ego, then he has to go. What did I see today? Paul Edwards says, you are a boring person. Paul Edwards, you're a prick. I mean, I'm quite a respectful guy, but the moment you come on and you disrespect me, I'm going to give it back to you. So, Paul, feel free to fuck off. Got no time. I don't mind banter. I don't mind. Just don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect the community, or you will be told to fuck off. And I really, really don't care. We've got no time. Zero time for people who are rude. So feel free to go. Got no time at all. So where are we? Hi, I'm pleased that you won another home game. I always feel that you are a good side, especially if you score the first goal. And I mean, it is because we then play a back five. And then we then play a back five, and then we shut up shop. The lack of control could be attributed to the unsettled midfield. I'm pleased to see Le Mans. He's still very young, but tested and will be tested. He will be absolutely comfortable win before the international break would allow the noise around the club to die down. I agree with you, mate. Agree. Then do a dance for us, Paul. Exactly. We finally get 2 consecutive wins in the league. I don't know. So I think it's poised. So look, on the team today, on the team today. And Dino, you're right, it's very, very nice to have a keeper that controls his box today. So the team come out, and what did we see? We still saw Amorim play Casemiro, and we'll get on to Casemiro. Luke Shaw will come on to Casemiro. We'll come on to those players as well. But at least he brought the goalkeeper in, and at least he brought Yoro back into the fold. So I look, I'm still not enthralled. Mason Mount into the team. I thought, look, Mason Mount I thought was good today. I like Mason Mount, but long term he's not the guy. But I thought he played really well today. And I like him. It wasn't even on TV. I can't even talk about the game. So let's go through the game. So I thought we started off okay. I think we controlled the game. Now I think a lot of it today was a mixture of Sunderland not being great. I couldn't focus on my work because this gentleman confused me every day. So we started off well. I thought the midfield pivot again is wrong. I don't like the midfield pivot. Casemiro today, I'm just going to start off and say Casemiro today was fucking awful. Bruno today, I'm still not convinced about Amorim. Sunderland is a poor team. Look, Hussein, look, let's get on to that as well, Hussein, because I think as we're talking about this, let's go through that, right? I wasn't convinced about him either. You know, for a team that are higher up the league, I've seen a couple of bits and pieces out there saying, well, actually, maybe we made them look weak. Maybe we were good and we made them look weak. I don't prescribe that at all. I thought that they were ordinary. They didn't look like a team. I thought they looked like a team who were mid-table like us. I thought we did some good stuff. I thought in the first half, I thought we did some good stuff, and I think I thought we had some chances as well. I thought we did okay. I thought we probably could have scored 3. I thought we were worthy of 2 goals. I don't think Sunderland did much at all. The midfielder didn't get hold of the midfield at all, which I think, from what I saw, I actually thought that pivot was there for the taking today. Casemiro was absolutely awful today. So I think that somebody who actually had a midfield 3 would have destroyed that pivot today. Casemiro is probably one of his worst games. Now, Bruno, to be fair to him, I'll say Bruno today, that was a performance by Fernandes today. I don't mind, right? I don't mind him not being able to, look, he's not an 8, right? But the fact he didn't chuck his arms in the air, the fact he wasn't petulant, the fact he was trying to do some stuff, I like that performance because he's in the number 8 and he's not an 8. Like, he did a job today, and I admire that more than when he's been a petulant. You know, I know Bruno, I still want him gone. I still do not want him in this team. But that performance today was a guy who's doing a job. He's been asked to do a job and he's done it. Like, I admire that. So I was happy with that today. I thought he was fine. Casemiro looked like he was walking backwards. Luke Shaw was fucking terrible. He got skinned once or twice. Delo on that side. Delo, his touches off. Delo doesn't want to cross a ball. He doesn't want to cross a ball. He just doesn't look at it at all. I thought he was awful today. Luke Shaw was awful. De Ligt, magnificent again. I really liked De Ligt. I thought he was absolutely brilliant again today. Commands that back 3. Absolute majestic player. Yoro, I thought was okay. I'm glad he came back in. He did some good stuff. I think the weather probably didn't help either. It was a couple of bits and pieces where he looked like he hadn't played for a couple of games. But I thought he was fine. Ahmad, I thought he did some fantastic things. I thought it's really difficult for him because that's not his position. But I think he adds stuff there. Defensively, I don't think he's great. Dorgu, when he came on, I thought was okay. Mason Mount looked lively today. I liked the things that he did, but this with Mason Mount, he's not physical enough. He's not physical enough. In Burma, I thought was good. I thought he started off bright and then he faded badly, which I don't get because he's playing one game a week. But he looked really, really tired. I thought he looked absolutely awful. Sesko, I thought was great today. I liked what he did today. I liked that striker's performance. He got himself a goal, put himself about. The graveyard shift is there again. We don't get balls into the box. I like that today, and he's looking better and better and better. So I like that from Sesko today. So yeah, so I thought, and again, second half come around, and I just thought we look comfortable. I thought it was if Sunderland had more about them, they could have got to us. There's a couple of times where they got down that Luke Shaw side, they put some balls into the box, they couldn't do anything at all with it. So I thought Sunderland today, I thought were the architects of their own game. I thought they were. Look, I don't think if we'd have played like that last week, we still would have got beaten. I don't think today was a move forward. I don't think today was a anything to tell. I think if you're hammering in, hammering out, I don't think it tells you anything at all. I don't think it does. I think he's still very, very stubborn. Do I think he's doing it for himself? I don't know. The jury is out on that one. And somebody said, well, he's got these senior pros and he can't play anybody else. Well, you can. Mainu came on and Mainu looked all right. Cunha came on and Cunha looked, I thought Cunha looked good when he came on. So I don't know. I don't know his obsession with Mason Mount. Mason Mount is I like him. He's bright, but he's not a starter for me. Luke Shaw is not a starter. So today was, for me, was a weird game. Look, celebrate the win, and we've got to be happy, right? Because we won. We've got 3 points, and we've got to be happy. But it wasn't convincing for me. It wasn't. I wanted to see him be brave today. I don't think he was brave at all today. I think he was at home. I think Sunderland, very, very ordinary team. If they came to play, I think they could have got something out of the game. I just wasn't convinced at all today. Yeah, let's get through some of the chats. Casemiro, wow, I'd rather have McTominay. Sunderland played like a championship team. Dino, yes, they did. And Dino, I think that's probably the best analogy, actually. Well, Stevie be on the beach. Benji and Scotty are nice people. Love your accent. Thank you. Respect that. Thank you so much. One in Spain. Look, but Susan, do you think that Bruno is dropped your club's attacking output will improve? Evidence over the last 6 seasons suggests that he's usually your principal creator. Bruno, he is. But if you watch De Bruyne, right? If you watch the way that he plays, that is who Bruno is compared to. The reason why De Bruyne is so good is because he does the simple things. He does the simple balls. Bruno Fernandes wants to be a quarterback. He wants the 50-yard passes. He doesn't want to just give. He doesn't want to slip the ball through. He doesn't want to do the easy things. I would say to you, Bruno's output is better. It's for Fernandes, and this is why we need him gone. Is because I think our general output and play will be better once we get in two number 8s or a 6 and an 8. And then Fernandes goes, look, over the last 6 seasons, Bruno's goals, assists, yes. But my caveat to that would be, if you had a De Bruyne type in there, would we have been better? So, look, Bruno, all I'm going to say to him is, I want he's gone. The performance today was as best as we are going to get because Amorim's going to play him in that 8 role. That is not his fault. My biggest problem with him is his attitude. You never know what you're going to get. So I'm Bruno out. I am Bruno out before I am anyone else. I didn't see the game and know Delo will be our best player. Delo was awful. Absolutely dreadful today. Hi, Uncle. Hello, my friend. Chelsea beat Liverpool. We beat Chelsea. We can do. We just got to be brave. We've got to be brave. We've got Amorim. Amorim cannot go there with a midfield pivot of Casemiro and Fernandes. Will get absolutely battered. I said, I never like football, but I'm coming to this channel that make me so happy. You love the gentleman. Thank you. So I like Benja and Scott with pure respect. Thank you. The thing is, the team is struggling. but our striker is still scoring. We haven't had that since CR7. Agree with you. The truth, I think anyone could best Liverpool right now. I think that it tells you that the players haven't completely given up on him. Yeah, but it does. It does. But I also think the players don't give up on themselves. Let's see. Liverpool, look, Liverpool is going to be the one, isn't it? Because that is probably going to be the game whereby I think it gets more people back on side. Look, I am on Amorim's side. I want him to do well. Where I'm not on board is if any manager or player puts themselves and their own agendas above this club. Right now, I don't think Amorim is. I think he's proved a bit today that he's not, but he's still fucking stubborn. Liverpool is going to be, look, for me, Liverpool is going to be the mark. Whether these players play for him, Bruno will tell you everything. How Bruno is will tell you everything. We have to go to Anfield and be brave. If we're not, look, I don't care if we go to Anfield and lose 4-0, as long as we give it to him. If we give it a go, give it to him. Do not lie down. Just give it everything that we've got. I'll be ecstatic about that. But the good thing is that Liverpool are not there or thereabouts yet. So I think I think that we can go to Anfield and get a result. I don't know. Anything could happen. I don't know. I think it's almost a free hit. I do. I think that he picks Mount due to his off-the-ball work and pressing. Shaw is picked because his crosses are better than Dorgu's. Yeah, but Luke Shaw doesn't play as a winger, does he? He doesn't play as a wing back. Look, he picks Luke Shaw because he's a senior pro. Look, Luke Shaw is very good at basically when a Rohit says you look like a very cool software engineer. Look, Dorgu will improve. You're right, his crossing is not great. We don't seem to want to cross. Our wing backs don't really seem to want to cross, which I find bizarre. So look, Luke Shaw, when he's static, right? So when Luke Shaw is trying to stand up an attacker, he's very good, right? Everything else, he got skinned today. He got absolutely skinned. He hasn't got the pace or the recovery pace to get back. One of the things I said in pre-season that still happens now is that the gap between the centre back and the wing back, because they're not in sync, there's a gap between there and there, and that ball gets played in there every single time. And when you think about the pivot, because there's a massive gap in the pivot, you've got these gaps, and teams they absolutely destroy us. Once you get through that midfield and you're facing Luke Shaw, skin him all day long, and that's the problem. That is the massive problem for me. Please, everybody, do like and support this channel. Everybody, thank you so much. The real Bruno says thing is right. They scored 2. No one really looked like they wanted to go and score more. Just happy for a win. It was a win at any cost. Exactly. Look, exactly. We've got to take that today, right? Now, I'm not unhappy, and I think let's be happy. But look, we can't let these players or Amorim off of the hook. We still have to critique this team. Look, I will congratulate them all tonight because they won. Great. But we have to go on to the next game. We have to. Bert says Arsenal to top the league. Let's hope that you can stay there. I think that De Bruyne is successful because he has Rodri and Silva alongside him. Also, City have more the ball. Haaland is a better finisher than anyone you have to. It's true, but De Bruyne was there. Rodri, he was there before him, and he was still good even then. So, it does help having Silva there, but De Bruyne was there. I think Silva was there, was he the same time as him, but Rodri wasn't, and De Bruyne was good then. I just look, De Bruyne is doing it again, isn't he? He's gone to Spain, and yes, Spain. He's gone to Italy, and Italy, yeah, is a could you argue that it's a different pace league? But I'd rather a De Bruyne who gets joy in assisting. I'd rather him. I think he's a much better player. Also, De Bruyne benefited from Pep's system. Bruno tends to want to do everything, but again, that's true. Bruno is more of a free role, but that's wrong for our system. I agree. Like, I'm not gonna disagree with that. They are different players, but they're compared, right? All I'm saying is I'd much rather that role. And I know what Fernandez is, and I know what he can do. I'd much rather Bruno, the player, rather than the captain. The problem, look, the problem for me is not necessarily how Bruno plays. As a 10, fine, but it's the attitude that is the thing. We could talk about the finites about the playing styles and the players and the coaches, but it's the attitude for me that absolutely gets me. Bobby, hello, my friend. If we beat Liverpool, does that put us in a good place? Yes. Okay. He needs to win 3-4 games. So Liverpool will win, but then we need to win at Brighton. We got Spurs, so we need to get points. So if we can win these 2 games, and then we go on and get a win at Brighton, and then draw at Spurs, or we get draws. Look, fine. I just wanted to pick up points, and I want him to get the season. I'll be happy with that. Many people won't, and then we can go again next season, and that's what I want. The menu does random things. Remember me? Of course I do, my friend. The only problem is Bruno in the midfield will not play Manu. Agree with you on that. Aaron, Rob Taff, legend. Even though I think Eric Ten Hag has taken over Liverpool, maybe Aaron will park the bus at Anfield, a bit like how he set up against City in the Champions League last season. For Sporting, he was hanging on towards the end. Yeah, I think you're right. I do think you're right. I think that is exactly what he'll do. I think that is exactly what he'll do. But look, I'm not bothered. Look, right now, there are things that I accept. As long as Amorim is doing what's best with the players that he's got, I can accept it. I can absolutely accept it. But as long as he's doing it for the betterment of the club, and I get, look, these players have been played that position. Look, it's basically like a marriage of convenience, right? These players are not right for the system, irrespective of how I feel about these players. These players are not right for the system, and Amorim is probably not right for them. So I absolutely get it. I do. But it's not necessarily the play. It's not the position and the players. It is the attitude of these players. If the players cannot, at a minimum, show effort and try to at least show that they believe that they can win, run to the final whistle, for me, the real test is Brighton. Exactly that. Agree completely. The real Bruno says, thanks for reading my comment, JB. Starting to really enjoy checking in with you post-match. You have blank check. So you have a blank check. Bring in only one player in Jan who fits the best system for Amorim. It's got to be Belieber. It's got to be a Walton, I think, for me. It has to be. It has to be a no-nonsense, hard-hitting midfielder. I'd like a Belieber, and then I'll put Manu in there, and then take a pick. I think Amorim's backed himself into a corner with this one, because we need a more of a defensive-minded midfielder. I'd go for a Belieber. I would. I think he'd be great in there. I would, if I was Amorim, I don't believe his system is the issue. He just doesn't have the players for it, right? So I would go to a back 4. This is what I'd do. I'd go to a back 4, and I'd bring one of those defenders, take out Luke Shaw, and put Belieber in there, and then you'd have maybe a Nagate, Manu in there, Bruno, because Bruno's going to play as an 8, and do that. And I think that gives us a chance. Ahmed says, I hate watching Liverpool. Why are we so bad? Look, Ahmad, it's a thing, right? What you got to appreciate is this, right? Jurgen Klopp left a very, very good side. I think you, as a Liverpool fan, could have walked into that team last season doing very, very little, and I think you could have won the league. And I'm not disrespecting Slot, but this is Slot's very, very first season. You spent a truckload of look. You can't bring in all those players and expect them to gel, right? I mean, all I'm going to say to you is this: it's a long-term thing, right? They know what they're doing. They brought these players in not for today, for the next 3, 4, 5 years. You guys are going to be absolutely look. It's so difficult to win the league. Like Liverpool are not going to win the league every single season, so you need to get that out of your mind. You're not entering the Liverpool era. As much as you may think that, you're not entering the Liverpool era where they're going to win back-to-back leagues every single season. You're building for the future. So look, all that's happening is that you're trying to gel a team together. It may not happen this season, right? You may finish third this season, right? But damn well, I guarantee you, next season you'll probably be there or thereabouts. Look, I'd rather much be in your position than ours, right? Emmy says, United win, Liverpool lose, a great day. Exactly. You've got to enjoy that. Hala Madrid, or Visca Barca. Barcelona at the moment, because Madrid are arrogant. Look, I respect Madrid, but arrogant. I don't, I don't really have a dog in the fight, really. But if I had to pick one, who do I like? So Barcelona for me. I think they're a bit more. I don't know. I've always preferred them. I think they're a bit more of a maverick team. For me, Barca was better. Wharton for me. Adam Wharton is a great shout and what a player. Yeah, I mean, look, I'd bring him in. I think that's what we need. Can you imagine Manu Wharton week in and week out, club and country? I'd love it, mate. I'd love it. I'd love it. I'd love it. Well, at least we are now on first page of the table. Exactly. Blue Nose, not United related. Thoughts on Bellingham not in the England squad? Would Tuchel do a job at United? Look, all I'm going to say right now is that if any manager comes into this squad, they're going to want their players, right? Look, Amorim is still using Luke Shaw, still using Maguire, Fernandes. Like, he's still having to use his players. Look, for me to really judge on that, or to give an opinion on that, would Tuchel come in and do a job? If he had his own players, possibly. If Pep came in here, Pep couldn't do anything. So I do think he could do, but not with these players. And I don't even blame the players. We've got a mishmash of players, a mishmash of systems, a mishmash of all different sorts of things here. And until we get a identity again and a team of players for a coach, it doesn't matter for me. But I think Tuchel could, but he'd have to be given his players as well. Bellingham not in the England squad. Look, Bellingham's going through one of those patches where he's injured. He's up and down. Look, Bellingham is a great player, but I think he's going through. Look, every player goes through a bad patch, but it's whether or not Bellingham can get through it. And also, Tuchel, if he doesn't think that Bellingham is quite right, good. Like, I'm glad. Like, people shouldn't get into squads because of their names. So if he doesn't feel that Bellingham is doing well, don't put him into the side because he's a name. I fully support him. I think the worst we can be is 11th this week. Salah can't go on forever. Exactly, Rob Taff. Exactly, Salah and Virgil done a right job on Liverpool getting 400k a week. OR says, hi, hello, my friend. Fun fact, Liverpool haven't won 2 leagues in a row since the 80s. I said it in the watch along. United will win the league. Dino, mate. Right. If that happens, what do you want? Emmy says, I've been banned from 4 Liverpool lives because they can't take a joke. Are you a United fan? Yes, I am. Sam Stitches, you are doing well from Nigeria. Yes, we are. Dino, I think Arsenal will win just ahead of City. We change the manager. I think we can quietly sneak into the top 6. Interesting. Yeah, I think Arsenal will do it. Yeah, look, I will look. If Arsenal do it, it's about time. I will support that. I really will. The high-flying teams of last year don't seem to be getting Forest Villa yet because they're all in Europe, aren't they? Last night I got banned from Anfield Irishman because they called me a rat. So I said, "You're bin tippers." Look, I don't understand other channels that don't accept other fans. I think it's very, very pathetic. The only thing I'll say on here is, look, you know us on here, guys. We are respectful. We don't mind the banter. I would never automatically call somebody a rat because they support a different team. But it just goes to show mentality, doesn't it? It just goes to show how you guys on here are classy. Not always. Mel Cameron vibes you give off, Harif. How do I give off Mel Cameron vibes? In what way? I don't think you know what that means, Harif. I don't think you do. I don't think you know what because we're like having a topic of conversation. I mean, I'm literally but a Karen, right? Just to educate you, is the sort of person that would not let you have your opinion. They basically say what they like without giving you an opinion. They wouldn't read your comment out, right? I literally read pretty much every single chat giving you your opinions on here. I will state my opinion is not the be all and the end all on here. It's just a view. That's why I'll read your chat, because I respect your opinions. So Harif, I think you've called yourself out there. Haril, you sound like a coral in the ocean, mate. Rat is the word. I bet you love you Les. I can't stand you, Les, mate. Question is, can we get into European places? Possibly. Harif, your wife is underage. Scott, I guarantee you, his wife is well underage. I guarantee he's part of some sort of ring as well. Dino, I think so. Rohit says, "Hi, Q Uncle." So, player ratings for today. I'm going to give him a score out of 10, 6 being like an average score. The men's, I'm giving the men's a 7 today. I'm going to be completely biased. I'm going to admit it today. Le Mans 7 for me today. I thought he commanded the box extremely well. I like how he was even talking to the back four. He looked confident. For me, 7. The low for me today, I'll start with him, 5. He doesn't cross a ball. Touches were awful. Uncle, you look so much enthusiastic about soccer. Thank you. I am. So I'd give probably the lowest 5. Under average performance today. I didn't think he looked particularly good. Not the biggest fan. Le Mans a 9 for me just because he caught the ball and think he was a boxer like a Nana. Dino, look, I'm not going to disagree with a 4 or 5. You'd probably argue a 4.5. Look, Le Mans, give Le Mans at 7, 8, 9, 10. Look, I am ecstatic about that. Euro for me, I'd maybe give him a 6.5. Do you miss your childhood uncle? No, because he's still alive. Yeah, no, my uncle is still alive. So, and he's a legend as well. Euro for me, I'd give him a 6. I think he did some good stuff today. Well, United, did you see the expensive Chelsea FC? I did. We did, and they won, which is always good, isn't it? So Euro for me, 6. You could argue 6.5 maybe, but for me it's a 6. The lit for me 7, 7.5. 7 a really, really good 7. You could probably Yeah, I agree with you, Dino. Delete for me, 7.5. Do you have any regret, Uncle? No, no regrets in life. If you regret in life, look, move on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean so you miss your uncle. It means, do you miss being a kid? Not really. I think I was born an old man, I think, really, to be fair. So this I miss being a kid because, you know, I do miss being a kid. Like in terms of, do I miss being a kid? I miss not having to be concerned about, money and like houses, but being a kid's crap. I mean, you know, no, I don't really miss it. Harif says, how long before you get 5 wins in a row? Don't know, mate. Could be a year, could be a year, could be 2 years. No idea. So delete for me, 7.5. Luke Shaw, 5. 4.5, 5. Not for me. Not his biggest fan. Dorgu, 5.5. Don't think he was average today. I think he did some okay stuff. Don't think he looked particularly great at times. So, not for me. Casemiro, I have to say, Emmy, yet 4. I'm not going to disagree. Maybe I'm being nice to Luke Shaw today, but 4.5, 5. Casemiro today for me was a 3. Fucking waste of space. It nearly cost us a goal. Exactly. Casemiro today for me was a 3. Didn't like that performance at all today. Slow. He's looks like he's running on the spot at times. He was awful today. That's one of my things with Amorim playing Casemiro when you've got Ugarte there. Casemiro is washed. He's done. He's dusted. It was a 3 for me today. Bruno Fernandes for me, I give him a 6 today. I think it was average performance. Didn't really do anything great. I don't think. Didn't really do anything amazing. Had a couple of shots you can maybe argue 6.5, but not for me. 6 for me, average. Mason Mount today, 6.5. Uncle, you were aging like a fine wine. Thank you, Rohit. I appreciate that. The Blue Nose says, love how no one is talking about Chelsea for the league. No one's taking more points from playing at home this season, I'm sure. Liverpool lost, didn't play at a high enough standard today. I did say at the start of the season, Liverpool, don't sleep on them, because they've bought so many players. What I've always thought is, if they click with the sheer amount of players that they've got, they can win a league. There is no doubt. But their problem is consistency. Their problem is, can they get a consistent team out there that can win a league? With enough players that they've bought, they absolutely should. So, it could be a Chelsea-Arsenal race this season. So, but Wayne, Liverpool lost. I mean, yeah. I mean, it happens, doesn't it? So, for me, Bruno is a 6. I preferred that performance. I'd prefer him not being a steady 6 rather than complaining and moaning. Mason Mount today, look, Mason Mount's bright. He scored a goal. I'd give him a 6.5 today. Higher than an average performance. He does go a little bit flat. You could argue a 7 today for him. I mean, I really, really good player, but he's physically, I don't think he's still there. But I'd go 6.5 for him today. 7.5. Scored a goal. I love the fact that Mason Mount is back. I like him, so you could argue a 7 today for me. So Mason Mount, 6.5 to 7. Scored a goal. I'm glad he's back as well, and I'm glad he's not out again. So pleased for him. In Burmo, 6.5 today. I think he did things really, really well, and he faded. I mean, he faded for me, which we got one game a week, so I don't really see how. But you know, I thought he looked off it slightly today. He did some really good things today, but faded in the second half. I still think I still think there's stuff. 6, yeah. Again, Dino 6.5 today. Don't disagree with that either. The man of the match today was uh, the referee. Sesko today 7 for me. I think De Ligt for me was the man of the match for me 7.5. You could even argue an 8. Sesko for me 7.5. I thought he was great today. He's looking better. He's looking better and better and better. I think physically, I think he's going to adjust to the league. You know, some of his play that he does, I think is brilliant. So I liked him today. I thought he's really good. I think you could probably have Sesko as the man of the match. De Ligt for me would be the guy. I love what he does. I think he's brilliant. Yeah, Sesko 7. Agree. I think he was great. Anyone ever heard of La Liga team called Elche? Yeah, only team in Spain along with Barca who are undefeated. Can Sesko continue the sort of scoring streak? I hope so. I do. So, Amorim, what would I give him a score today? If we're marking, look, if we're going for selection of a team, the pivot, look, he gets scored down. Emmy gives Amorim a 1. I'd give Amorim a 6 today. I think he was Billy Basic, average stuff. He's not learning. For me, he gets marked down straight away. He got a win. He put Lemens into the side. I give him some plus points for that. I knock a load off because Luke Shaw's still in there. He plays that stupid fucking pivot. Casemiro's in there. He plays that fucking a load of bollocks. But you know, it's a win. So I agree. So for me, it's a 6 from me today. From him, it's a win. We go into the break with a win, and then can we come back and can we get a win? So Liverpool, next game, Lament. I agree with you. One more season for Mo, and that's the feeling I have. Yeah, Wayne, I think you probably end up in Saudi maybe. So yeah, well, guys, just a quick one tonight. I'm going to go. Going to spend Saturday night with the family, and let you guys get off with your. That sounds weird. Let you guys go. Scott, I wish you well, my friend. Have a safe trip, especially with the storm, my friend. Emmy says I could cope with him starting a 3-4-2-1, but at least change it when you're winning. Protecting the league like there's more than one formation. Look, Emmy, we're this is a win. Let's enjoy it, and let's see what happens in this. So, guys, thank you for watching the game with me today. Thank you for being here tonight, guys. Our community, we are a mixture of United fans, Liverpool fans. We've got all sorts of fans in here, Arsenal fans as well. And I'm not bothered about flying. I'm getting angry at champs. Look, Scott, doesn't matter, my friend. It doesn't matter if you're pro or, mate, just be safe because, sorry, and the Birmingham fans as well. So we get the Birmingham fans in, we get Arsenal, Liverpool, United fans. Like, welcome here, my friend. Absolutely amazing. I'm suffering from being inconsistent in all the work I do. Any advice? Just keep at it. Look, work is hard enough. Life is hard enough, right? Leeds fan as well. Leeds fans, Oscar, legend. Leeds fans are here as well. Look, the only thing I ask everybody, keep it at it. Exactly. The only thing that I do ask is that we get on. Absolutely no problem. We don't mind the banter on here as long as it's respectful to each other. Pretty much anything goes here. So yeah, so I won't be doing a late show tonight. But guys, Eduardo from Mexico, Viva Sunderland. If not, fight boss. Oh, Scott, I love it. But Scott, have a safe flight, my friend. I will be back Will I be back tomorrow? Possibly. I'll probably do a late Sunday show tomorrow. I'm a big fan of Mbappe, only soccer player alive other than Messi. Danish friends, as Jamie Vardy said. Danish friends, ooh, friends, football friends. Anyway, have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, guys. Thank you so much for being here. This channel is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's all thanks to you guys. Pushing 16,000. I'd love to get to 20,000. And at the end of the day, Scott, look, Scott, at the end of the day, Scott, it's got to be champers, isn't it? Scott's going on and playing first class, right? See, Ruben, we won. We absolutely won the game. So it means now we can get Champions League. Our friend Scott is going on an aeroplane, first class, champers. I wonder, Scott, if you're going to meet Sir Jim, because I know you're going to be flying first class, champers all the way, my friend. Champers. Beyond champers at 3. Look, you've got to go to a Spoons. Go to a Spoons, and you've got to look. That's the only time it's acceptable, unless you're on a night out and you're still out. It's the only time that you can go to sleep, wake up, and then go for a drink at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's got to be a Spoons. So he can pay for it. Champers. What a win and a clean sheet. I gave us no chance. Look, just Ernest, I'm giving the last word to you, my friend. What a win, clean sheet. Give us no chance. Done and dusted. We won. So we go on to the next one, guys. I will be back tomorrow at some point, probably later. Good evening, Uncle. Good evening. Have a good rest of your morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Airport as well. Look, have a good, safe flights. Make sure that you go and have a drink. However your team has done today, go and have a commiseration drink. Go and have a commiseration beer, commiseration cup of tea, coffee. Chill, guys. See you all. Good night, all. Take care. Thank you for being here. You guys are amazing, and I will see you tomorrow at some point. Have a good rest of your day and take care, and I'll see you soon. Take care.